just get some footage of these guys play. Oh god, I'm gonna have to dive across the screen, so I've got a horrible camera angle. Sorry. So yeah, boys, how's it going?
Having a nightmare.
Having a nightmare. Standard. That is very much the quote of our. Face. Well, yeah.
Window man. No, window man.
Window man and having a nightmare are our quotes of Call of Duty playing. There always seems to be a man in a window giving us a nightmare.
UAV win.
Sprinting is just terrible.
I was going to ask if you're getting tired yet, but we've only been going for a couple of hours, so
I'm not tired at all.
I think we'll be fine for a while yet. We'll see how we get when we're at like 10 hours.
Rape lob. I can't even think of a word to go with rape. I was going to say lobster, but that would have sounded wrong.
Well, yeah.
Rape lobster! Test run.
What did you just stare at me?
Test running the phrase rape lobster. Well, on the note of rape lobster, I'll sign off this segment of the video in a bit. So here we have Becca, who's woken up to join the Call of Duty experience early morning. Phil, of course, is still in bed, but I'm sure he'll be coming up at some stage. So hi, Becca. That's all I have to say there. Well, developer of the night, Tim has donned the turtle beaches, which automatically means that very shortly people will be getting abused. Anyone with a microphone, beware.
You want me to play or are you playing, Robbie?
You play, carry on.
Yeah. Oh, the sprint's still
He's
on.
just said YOLO. Listen, microwave face. Get the fuck out of a gale force wind. Take your head out your own arse.
Kill the riot shield.
I'm a nightmare already.
Oh, I was talking about the developments, the new stuff in Black Ops 2. One other one to point out, well, the camera's gone out of focus, there we go, is one of the new game modes. Hardpoint's pointless, but the other one, multi-team, which I think is really good, is kind of bridging that gap between free-for-all and team deathmatch, where obviously you've technically got more enemies than friendlies.
Fuck me, microphone man. Absolutely shit myself.
But anyway, yeah, so it tends to be just 3 on 3 on 3, and I think it's a lot of fun. And we were playing that for the first like hour and a half of the marathon, and it was good. So yeah, that's about all I have to say on that. We have Phil making an appearance in Spider-Man costume. Alright.
New one.
Good morning, Philip. How are we? Imagine you would be. It is quite early.
I've come for a game.
Have you? Well, we have a new player in the Call of Duty Marathon. Welcome, Phil Turner. So carrying on my topic of new features. Hang on, maybe I'll do a little zoom in past Tim's ears to the screen. You're a fuck, aren't I? Oh, he's reached his target level. Anyway, new features. Just talking about one that Sean's very much a fan of is the new shock knife, which you can obviously throw and will go off and electrocute people as they go past them. They are clearly very efficient when you can get them in a good location. Sean loves them too much and throws them randomly into shit places, but you know. I don't know what to make of them. Personally, not something that I'd use, but I'm sure plenty of people would have their uses for them. But one other main new feature is the Guardian, a new turret that basically sends out waves of whatever that fuck with people. Give a kind of similar effect to what Nova Gas did, but in turret form. They're remarkably effective in some game modes, such as like Demolition. If you've only got one bomb, stick a Guardian there, and no one's going anywhere near it. Unless they can get a clear line of sight to shoot at it. So on things like Nuketown right here, when you've got the bomb there where bottom screen's walking now, you can put it in that corner and it's just absolutely locks it down. So they're very effective. They're a nightmare to be on the receiving end of. But they're quite a cool introduction. I think one other thing to mention while I think is definitely the Call of Duty theme tune. I'm loving Call of Duty jumping on the dubstep bandwagon. I think that's quite hilarious. Every time I sit in the lobby now, I'm just sat there going wob 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 wob, which is excellent. Not much of a practical feature. What are you saying?
Do that again.
Wob 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 wob.
Shock knives help with riot shields. Put it down, they instantly drop it.
20 man points for naming that song.
What Call of Duty theme tune? generic song by dubstep artist.
Wow, wows and yip yaps.
Anybody feeling the cover? Anyway.
Potentially.
I've been given a camera and I have nothing to say.
Oh yeah.
Zoom in on Phil.
You are?
We'll just get some of the gameplay.
I have some of Phil's face.
Get some of the gameplay.
Just take a snapshot and put it in the credits.
I will do it at the
At
end.
least you end on a passionate kiss.
Yeah, mate. Talking about my script. It's well happy with it. It's blurry at best. Oh, there we go.
Oh, royally getting shot.
Robbie's having a nightmare.
Tedious, non-sprinting business he's doing my nutting.
I've seen more deaths than kills. It's fantastic.
Well, it's because you've started the video at an awful point. I was having quite a screamer. Accuracy disaster.
Who's top, who's bottom?
I'm bottom. Oh, I've got a lightning strike though, so I'm going to set that in. Oh, not available? What's this shit?
What can you do?
My lightning strike for some reason isn't available. Oh,
Lightning
for
strikes are
fuck's
cool.
sake.
They're annoying.
A team's forfeited. I had a lightning strike.
I do believe it's my own. No.
I don't know why someone's forfeited.
Draw!
You control.
No, bitch.
Come on.
I'm playing this
Right, so it's time for another video update. It's currently just gone 10:30 in the morning. We've had a nice bowl of cereal. And so for this little segment I'm going to talk about some of the maps. There's a lot of sunlight coming in there, so that's not ideal. There's a lot of screen glare for this bit, but anyway, maps. After a while of playing, I've come to the definite conclusion that there's only two maps that I actively dislike, and that's Meltdown, definitely, and is it called Overflow?
Overflow, yeah.
I think it's called Overflow.
Overspill.
No, it's Overflow. I don't like either of them. I can't really give reasons. I think they're both, as I've mentioned before, I don't like snipers, and they're both very snipey. But there are several maps which I'm actively a big fan of. Straight off the mark, Yemen, I absolutely adore. That's my favourite map. But this map that we've got going on at the moment in the gameplay is Express, which is definitely up the top with the favourite maps as well. It's very cool. I was quite blown away when I first saw a train actually come blistering through and just plough me down, which I wasn't expecting at all. But it's a good fun map. The other one I like is, of course, Hijacked, which I think is very popular. The one on a yacht is very small, so there's not a lot to get around. So it's all very, I would say chaotic, but that's not really the right word for it because it's in a good way. Except for obviously the people that you get sitting in windows, but you know that always happens. So yeah, that's my favourite maps. But then all the others, I quite like. Like with most Call of Duty games, I've hated a lot of the maps and just had a few that I like. Whereas with this one, like I said, there's only two that I really dislike. Whereas I think a lot of the other ones are very good. Can't really give any reasons or anything. I don't really know. There's not so many disastrous campy spots. There's a lot of windows. There's a lot of buildings and windows, which can be a nightmare. But for general run-around players, like Yemen is great. I know there's a lot of windows on that, but like that main alleyway with the bridge and everything, there's always just chaos going on in there, which is obviously why you don't generally go to central points. But you know, but like some of the back alleyways and all that can be really fun for close quarters engagements and all the rest of it. So we're currently watching Tim and Sean being.
Shocking.
Yeah, well, Tim says shocking, and I think I'll roll with that. I hesitated from being too insulting. There's that train I was on about. But yeah, I do like this map, so it's a good chance to show that off. And are you both using the same gun now?
No.
No, you're not. Still both repping assault rifles. Tim's got one of the 3-burst ones going on. So yeah, that's about cover the topic of maps. I didn't really say a lot about it, but I've talked about it anyway. On my prestige attempt effort, admittedly I've been swapping out a lot of the time, so I've not been playing this constant amount of time, but I'm currently most of the way through level 44, so we're getting there slowly. We'll keep pushing for that one. Well, an update on the video is I'm not entirely sure how this happened, but Tim has become naked. I don't fully understand what's happened.
I got uncomfortable, so clothes needed to be removed.
You were just having a wee.
What?
You were just having a wee, weren't you?
Explain how we developed into nakedness.
You were having a wee and became so warm that you decided to get naked for your wee. Is that literally what's just happened? Wow. Well, the marathon seems to be pushing our mental capacities to their limits. This is the result.
I'm not going to fucking beer
down!
Beer down!
Right, well, we're about a quarter of the way through the 24 hours, and it's got to the point where frustration with the game is definitely setting in. Like, I've just had literally the worst match of my entire life. Bearing in mind I was starting the marathon off with consecutive 30-kill games all over the place. And I've just had the worst game of my life. And I'm just throwing things around, hitting the bed and going a little bit crazy. So this could be interesting to see how the next 18 hours comes out, if that's the stage we're hitting now. But at least it means I get a break from the game while these two play again. Slow. Are we recording? Yeah, we are. Well, we've just come back from having an... Yeah, great. Just come back from having an egg, bacon and sausage sandwich. So naturally we're all feeling a lot better. And well energized to carry on. So here's the food. Woo! Just gonna video a little bit of the hijacked action we've talked about. It's a cool map. And annoyingly, as you'll see, top screen, I think it's Tim, has employed that annoyingly overpowered scope which I was on about, so you get to see that.
Absolutely loving it.
like a little bitch.
That guy was using
And you got killed by someone using the same thing. Well, this is ridiculous. But yeah, this is hijacked, the yacht map. And now you're being window man as well. Tim's just summing up everything we hate.
I'm loving it.
I just thought I'd get a little bit of this footage in. I was going to talk about something else, but I've completely forgotten what it was. Well, I'll come back to that. Right, well, I've just had to jump into theatre mode so that we can display Tim's belter of a grenade. So we'll hit play and go over to the screen for you. Revenge on the window man is all that needs to be said. Just as a look, wonders, will a grenade reach? Line it up, random throw. Oh, it's gone perfectly in the balcony. Oh, and it's a kill! Oh! Oh!
Fuck you, window man!
It's a screamer of a grenade. Absolute screamer.